Charlie. Our next speaker was invited to Washington in 1983 by Senator Jesse Helms, a man we all love and respect. After working at the College Republican National Committee with then Chair Jack Abramoff, she served with Dr. Ralph Reed, founding Students for America, and consulting with the Reagan-Bush '84 campaign, Christian Voice, Moral Majority, and Dr. Tim LaHaye at the American Coalition for Traditional Values. She was a legislative assistant in the U.S. Congress and later received her presidential appointment under President Reagan in the U.S. Secretary of Energy's office. Recently, she's been a political consultant in local municipal and congressional races. She runs Raleigh's oldest business, Briggs Hardware, who kept my bicycle running when I was a child, and has a prison and a homeless ministry. In 2011, Dr. Ralph Reed asked her once again to work under him as the Executive Director of the North Carolina chapter of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, where she serves the Lord today. Please welcome Miss Evelyn Scruggs Murray.
I used to be able to jump up on these things, not anymore. I love living in this country. The only thing that I love more is my family and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You see, back in 1776, it was God who saw fit to reward the faithfulness of Christian patriots who would dare to oppose the British Empire, a superpower so strong that it controlled most of the civilized world. God gave those patriots their freedom, granting their posterity a nation like no other on the face of the earth since the beginning of time. The United States of America, founded in 1776 with our Declaration of Independence, relying on the law of nature and nature's God that appealed to divine providence, the supreme judge to determine our fate, was created by Christians, for Christians. Our country, a bevy of colonists who fled the empire to find religious freedom. Quakers, Puritans, Baptists, Anabaptists, Presbyterians, they founded what are now the original 13 states, but they didn't stop there. In order to form a more perfect union, our Constitution, thus created, replaced the Articles of Confederation by "We the People" of the United States. Our Constitution was a brilliant document, full of separation of powers, checks and balances, all recognizing that even good men and women are flawed and that power corrupts. And we see it today. Power, absolute power, will destroy a nation and strip it of its liberties. As we look at our current presidency, it should put fear in the hearts of all of us as Barack Obama seeks just that, absolute power. We have to turn this country back to a land of principles. We can no longer travel down this destructive road. It's up to you and you and you to turn this freight train around. In 1787, 55 delegates to the Constitutional Convention gathered in the city of Philadelphia to debate the foundational document for this newly formed United States. Among the delegates were George Washington, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and James Madison, men who history would one day acknowledge as our founding fathers. Each of these men professed a belief in God as the creator of the universe and believed that religion encouraged a moral citizenry, which they deemed essential to the success of the new republic. Yet they were keenly aware the European history demonstrated the power of religion to spawn sectarian strife and violence. By the time of the convention, the founding fathers and ordinary Americans subscribed to the idea of religious liberty. This was not an abstract principle, but a vital, living concept influenced by multiple sources. The concept of religious liberty was coupled with a corollary principle. The state must have no power to establish a church or to impose religious conformity. In Philadelphia, the delegates agreed that the federal government should be kept out of religion. After the draft of the Constitution was approved in Philadelphia, it went to the states for ratification, but ratification wasn't assured by any means. Many Americans were shocked that the document did not acknowledge the divine creator. The Baptist minister, John Leland, was dismayed by the absence of a written guarantee of religious liberty. Thomas Jefferson, then serving America an envoy in Paris, also believed that a written guarantee of liberty was essential. But Madison, he was the architect of the Constitution, thought that such a guarantee was unnecessary. He worried that listing some rights, risking omitting others that deserve protecting. If Madison was alive today and saw the moral decay of this great nation and the persecution of Christianity in America, I think he would have second thoughts. But with Madison's guidance, the first Congress did approve the First Amendment to the Constitution that begins, "Congress shall have no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof." The second part is the key phrase, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, that is being trampled upon today. When there are laws preventing a Christian teacher from freely exercising her religion when leading her class in prayer, the First Amendment is violated. That a government employee wants to freely exercise their religion by posting a copy of the Ten Commandments in the government building is hardly what the First Amendment's Establishment Clause was meant to prohibit. How can one claim that free exercise of religion is government-established religion like the Church of England? You see, the men and women who founded this nation relied on the God of the Bible for wisdom. Our Constitution was written by Christians who drew from hundreds of years of history, taking Christian principles and law from great thinkers who found their inspiration from the Bible. Our money bears the legend "In God We Trust" for a reason. The government buildings in Washington, D.C. and throughout our great nation bear quotes from the Old and New Testaments for a reason. The words of Jesus Christ are chiseled in stone above the heads of the justices of the United States Supreme Court for a reason. This is a Christian nation, founded by Christians to protect Christians' ability to freely exercise their religion. But today, we have strayed so far from those sacred words and from those empowering principles. God gave us freedom. He inspired our founders. He gave us the wisdom to base all of our law and government on a single wondrous document, the United States Constitution. Our sacred Constitution was ratified along with the Bill of Rights, protecting the free exercise of religion and limiting the federal government's national arm to only those powers enumerated in the Constitution, reserving all other powers of government to the states and to the people. We have a glorious heritage in the Declaration of Independence and in our Constitution. Let's protect it. Let's fight for it. Let's dedicate our lives to it, lest we find ourselves in the same state that the colonists, our forefathers, found themselves in before declaring their independence from the King of the British Empire, when Patrick Henry declared, "We shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations and who will raise up friends to fight our battles. The battle is not for the strong alone. It is to the vigilant and to the brave." May God continue to bless America. May He keep her safe and may He keep her strong. Thank you.